about you, chums, but I was really stunned by the fact that you could now become an influencer speaker at Times 100 in New York City by simply selling a few pots of jam. I mean that seriously. It's incredible when you think, because when you look at that, it's supposed to be an influential event. And more importantly, you sit down and go, well, what exactly has Meghan achieved as a female founder, whatever you want to call it? Not really that much, right? But clearly, Times Magazine needs some profile. Hence the reason she was invited to New York City. But did anybody else miss this? As ever, let me explain. Morning, chums. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for your time today. It is fascinating though, isn't it? Because when you think about people who are really trying to get a business going and you really could do with that exposure, all of these things now are celebrity based, aren't they? I'm more interested in people who have created something that's useful every single day in the household, or developed a certain skincare range, or whatever it might be. Something with a good story. What we had was Meghan Markle getting up on the stage once again, this time to be interviewed by the CEO of Times Magazine, and basically just waffling on. What was it about? Did anybody truly understand in the end? Of course, the biggest takeaway was that she had to jump in on Prince Louis, having, of course, some missing teeth, and guess what? Archie's now suddenly got a tooth that's about to come out. She just hoped that she could get back in time to California. If it truly meant that much to her, why didn't she bring him with her? Yes. Or more importantly, why didn't she skip the entire conference? It wasn't about her. There was no way that people are going to buy anything from listening to that. But this is where it gets interesting. You see, because the other side of the coin was this. As Meghan came on, let me tell you how these things work. There is no way that she did not know well in advance exactly the format, where she was going to walk, what the colour of the chair was going to be, even though Meghan had suddenly reverted back to being a brand new shade of mahogany. If you think about that, she'd obviously decided this was a different look. And of course the questions would have all been gone through in advance. So she knew exactly the sort of phraseology, the words that she was going to use in order to build up her speech. But this particular one was very, very, well, how can we put this nicely? It was so fake. And the whole reason behind this was simply the fact that Meghan did not want to be caught out. You see, as we know, she struggled to get major guests on her show. Whichever way you look at it, they're not A-list, and they're certainly not making the sort of thing that, Netflix had hoped. They wanted big guests, big hitters. Yes, the aforementioned people like Victoria Beckham, Reese Witherspoon, people who'd actually done something. Or, in fact, with her Netflix show, just genuine friends. Clearly, if Meghan doesn't know if somebody's left-handed or not, well then, how friendly is she? That's the thing I would say. But you see, there was a good line from the CEO, which, as I say, was heavily rehearsed. And this was all about, if she could pick anybody, who would that be? Ooh, good guess, that is this the trick question leading to the hit? You remember the speech, all that sort of stuff. Well, this is because Meghan did not want to say, literally in public, the real people that she would dream to get on her show. Where was her friend, for instance, Kerry Washington, Oprah Winfrey? They're all steering clear because they can smell disaster. Useful when they want her, but not useful to them. And so consequently, this woman who sat round literally claiming to be the interviewer for that magazine knew she could not put Meghan Markle on the spot. And what was interesting was, even at the end of it, there was no conclusion of, so you've had time to think, is there anybody really that you'd now like to reach out to while we're here? She wasn't allowed to ask it because Meghan and her team control every single aspect of those particular appearances. So this fluffy appearance of, well, the best thing I like being is a mum. Well, if you like being a mum, why have you been launching so many products so much? And why have they all simultaneously been such a disaster? Either way, the only thing we learned from that chat with Time was truly that Meghan's time is well and truly up. Anybody else agree? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.